one and only Mark Spencer. I'm back for the continuing adventure in the NHL Season 3 slopes and NHL review part for that. We're going to go to part 5. So folks, let's enjoy this continuing adventure. So folks, now we move on to the Northeast Division in the NHL. We look at the Boston Bruins, the Montreal Canadiens, the Ottawa Senators, and the thing about these teams, they're tough. They're original 6 teams in the Boston Bruins and the Montreal Canadiens. The Toronto Maple Leafs are a rebuilding team. They keep on saying, we're rebuilding, and I think they are rebuilding. So you can't really count them as a playoff team this year, folks. Sorry to say, Leaf Nation, that their team's going to be pretty bad this year. I agree, they might be pretty bad, but that's what happens when you're rebuilding. But I think they're going to be in a lot of games this year. They're going to finish the games really close. The goaltending on this team is pretty good. Yeah, Curtis Joseph, you got Toskala. I think when it gets close to the trade deadline, I think Toskala is going to get traded because I think a team out there is going to look for some goaltending, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's their neighbors, the Ottawa Senators. It's looking to me that another team in this Northeast Division, the Ottawa Senators, have a goalie competition, basically a goalie controversy, and Alex Auld and Martin Gerber. The thing about Martin Gerber that scares me the most is a goalie, and man, if you're a fan, and you get so disappointed in the goaltending. I mean, you look at the Ottawa Senators, a great team, great team. They might not have a good puck-moving defenseman, but they'll probably acquire one as the season goes on. They have great forwards. They have one great line in Spezza, Heatley, and Alfredson. Their second line is pretty good. You got Vermette, you got Mike Fisher. But, the one thing I can say about the Ottawa Senators this year, it's not going to be easy. I mean, most years they had a great team from the goaltender and out. The defense was always solid, the forwards are always solid, and now with the cap world, it's not as easy for the Ottawa Senators to develop their players and bring them to the NHL. Now they're developing their players and trading them off just to get themselves some great talent in return. That's kind of not the way I've seen Ottawa do things over the years, but that's what they got to do. They have to get in the talent to win. They have an owner that just wants to win now. Eugene Melnyk is a guy that is a competitive guy. And the way I look at it, with the Ottawa Senators, anything's possible. I feel the Ottawa Senators are going to have a good year this year. They might make the playoffs, a big might. I don't think they will, but, I've been wrong before. I just don't think they're going to make it. I think they'll implode at the end, near the end of the season, probably in April. We'll see what happens. Maybe February or March, probably they'll implode, but we'll see what happens. Now we look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, a rebuilding year. Ron Wilson, the new head coach. They get rid of players such as Brian McCabe. They get rid of Darcy Tucker. They get rid of so many of their other players like Raycroft and a few others. John Ferguson got sacked. Now they bring in Cliff Fletcher. Now he's the general manager. This is a whole different team. This is a whole remodeling process, a makeover, you would say. One of the biggest markets in all of hockey in Toronto, the hotbed. No doubt about it. The fans there are just dying for hockey, and they're going to get to watch the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight play against the Detroit Red Wings. It should be a good game. I think the Leafs might win this game. The Toronto Maple Leafs, they have 2 great goalkeepers in Toskala and Curtis Joseph. Don't forget they have Curtis Joseph. There's one guy that still has the pride, still loves to compete, still loves to win. Curtis Joseph, one of my all-time favorite people, one of my all-time favorite players in the NHL. Curtis Joseph is a leader, and he's going to show that Toskala that he has to play good. And he's going to tell some of those players that they have to step it up and play to the best of their ability. They might be young, but look at the Tampa Bay Rays in Major League Baseball playoffs. Now they're one step away from the World Series. Now look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, almost similar in the age and a little bit of experience on the team. Anything is possible, as they say. But, it won't happen. Not in Montreal Canadiens' 100th centennial year. Now we talk about La Provence, the Montreal Canadiens, the Habs, one of the greatest teams in, all of sports history, the greatest, most successful hockey franchises ever. Montreal Canadiens have done it all over the years. You look at Maurice Rocket Richard, John Beliveau, Patrick Waugh. I could go on and on. All the great names I've played for the La Provence, Guy Lafleur, Ken Dryden, from Bob Gainey, their current general manager. They've had so much great players come through this organization. And when I look at the Montreal Canadiens, I think they're going to have an outstanding year. Carey Price is coming into his second season. There's going to be a lot of pressure on this kid. But I think the keys for this team is going to be chemistry. They're going to have to get good defense. Robert Lang's going to have an outstanding year. Platanic's going to have to produce or he's going to get traded. Kovalev, I think, is going to produce because he's feeling good. He's healthy. And there's a lot of positive vibes in Montreal right now. Even though it's so much pressure, there's a lot of positive vibes going around in Montreal. So I think Montreal should be real good this year. They'll make the playoffs, no problem. And you look at the Boston Bruins, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, even though they got Patrice Bergeron back. They have goaltending problems. They have great young players in Philip Kessel and a few other great players on this team. You know, you look at another guy. What's his name? He used to play for the Vancouver Giants. Take a look. Shit. Yeah, Milan Lucic. Sorry about that, folks. Milan Lucic. He's another great player for the Boston Bruins. I think he's going to really help the Boston Bruins this year in the Northeast Division. But they won't make the playoffs, but they'll have a good year. They'll be competitive. And the people of Boston got to be cheering on them, cheering on their Bruins, man, and just like cheering on the Red Sox. Good luck, Red Sox. You play tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Rays. It should be very interesting. And now we move on to the Western Conference. Now we're done with the Eastern Conference, move to the Western Conference, and we start off with the San Jose Sharks in the Pacific Division. I think the San Jose Sharks are going to be a great team this year. Add in Rob Blake and Dan Boyle is just going to add to this team's juggernaut of talent. You have Jeremy Roenick. He's pumped. He's ready to go. You have Joe Thornton wanting to win. And you even have Jonathan Chichu is going to play better this year than he played last year. And that's what happens. You play bad one year, you play better the next year. It always happens in all these types of sports. It's amazing. But that's what happens. And I feel that Glenn Murray, if he gets healthy, will be part of the San Jose organization when it's all said and done. And hopefully Jeff Friesen gets a contract here. He's one of the all-time leading goal scorers in the history of the San Jose Sharks. I know he's kind of dicey right now with the contract situation, but hopefully they sign Jeff Friesen because I think he's going to really help this team. No doubt about it. Now we move on to the Phoenix Coyotes. I think Phoenix is going to be good this year. They're bringing in a few young, good players. I think Peter Mueller is going to have a good year this year for the Phoenix Coyotes. Bergalov's going to really steal a few games for them this year, but I feel that they're just so young of a team that they will miss the playoffs by about 10 points. They'll play good. I think Gretzky will get on their case most nights and try to get them motivated to play good hockey in front of some empty seats maybe in Phoenix this year. You know, there's a kind of not good situation right now in the States, so around the league it's going to be kind of tough to see, you know, when you're watching a game on TV or whatever and you see empty seats, but it's going to be like that in Phoenix because this team's just not good. Now we move on to the Los Angeles Kings. It's going to be another tough year for the LA Kings. It's a rebuilding year. They have a new captain in Dustin Brown. I think Dustin Brown is going to be key for this team. He's going to do what he got to do. He's going to win. He's a winner, and this team won't win that much games. They'll miss the playoffs too. Now I move to the Anaheim Ducks. They will make the playoffs. They brought back Timo Solani and they brought back Scott Niederbauer, but they got rid of Matthew Schneider. It was a tough situation, but that's what happens. You know, these things do happen, but they got to be patient and they got to remember that it's a business and it's a tough business, no doubt about it. And now I move on to the Northwest Division, the Vancouver Canucks. Wow, the Vancouver Canucks. This is going to be a tough game for them tonight against Calgary Flames. The Vancouver Canucks, I feel, are going to make the playoffs, but as an 8th seed. I feel Roberto Luongo is a winner. He's a competitor. They might have a tough time scoring goals this season, but, you know, they proved to me in the preseason they won 6 games. They lost 1 game. So I think they're going to be pretty good this year. They have a different mix. They don't have Morrison or Naslund anymore, the West Coast Express or Trevor Linden, the greatest Canuck all time. But I feel that the heart and soul of this team will keep on playing. And it's real sad they lost Luc Bourdon in the offseason. I got to say, Luc Bourdon, rest in peace, man. It's sad to see, but they're going to have a tribute tonight before the game, so it should be a good one. Vancouver Canucks, I think they will make the playoffs. And now I move on to the Calgary Flames. They will make the playoffs this year. I think with the addition of Todd Bertuzzi, it's going to make a difference in this Calgary Flames lineup. He's a great player, explosive player, powerful player, and Mika Kiprasov's going to be a key. And Mike Keenan, he's going to be the next key for the Calgary Flames. And the Colorado Avalanche, I feel with Peter Forsberg probably going to be there by the Christmas time, maybe Matt Sundin. I think they're going to dominate. I think they'll get to the Stanley Cup final this year. Maybe. If they can get past Detroit, they'll get to the Stanley Cup final. So, folks, that's it for my review. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.